Okay, so today we're going to discuss families in Revit. So families are the core of Revit. So almost of the uh, elements that you put inside your drawing are families. So the elements are families of Revit. So those are the walls, doors, windows. All you can see here on the ribbon tab, even in the structure still, those are considered as families. So there are different kinds or types of families in Revit. So the first one is the system families. So system families are families that already in the system of Revit. So again, these are the walls, doors, windows. So once you click a wall, so to create a wall, you can type WA or you can just click this icon. So for example, this one. Once we click this one, here in the properties, type selector, once you click this, these are the different types of walls that you can find in the Revit. So these are now the system families that we are talking about. So walls have different types, and these types are the system or are in the system of Revit. Yeah. So let's cancel this one. So the next type of families are the loadable families. So from the word itself, loadable meaning you have to load the families to put in the system of Revit or to put in your project. So those loadable families can be found in the net or on the net or here in Revit as well. So to do that, you have to go to the Insert tab, then click the Load Family, and here you can find the different families or loadable families that you can put in your Revit. So for example, here in the US metric folder, there are different folders that you can load inside the Revit system. So for example, again, furniture, so double click this furniture folder, then click one of the families that you want to put in your project. So for example, mirror, then click open. Eventually, your uh, families will be loaded here in the properties or in the Revit system. So to get that family, you have to go to the architecture, select this component, then place a component. So automatically, your family will be loaded here. So you just have to place it on your wall. So once you go to the south elevation, you will now have your families loaded in your Revit. So the last type is called the model in place or sometimes called as generic models. So to create a model in place, you have to go to component, then click this small arrow, then click the model in place. So model in place is used if you have a uh, asymmetrical uh, family or design, or sometimes if you don't have a family that you can find in your system. So that's the time you're going to use your model in place. So once you click the model in place, there will be a dialog box that will pop up. So this dialog box has different categories and parameters. So these categories are or will help you to categorize or organize your uh, model in place. So usually, uh, you can start always with the generic models. That's why model plays are sometimes called as generic models. So once you click the generic models, so click OK, then you have to put a name on your model. So for example, generic models one. So make it as is. So click OK. And then your ribbon tab will be different. So, or will change. So you have here now the create tab. So in the create tab, these are the tools that you will use to create your model. Okay, so you have the extrusion, you have the blend, revolve, sweep, swept, and void forms. Just for you to uh, understand, Revit is a plane based uh, software, meaning that you have to have a plane for you to create your models. Okay, so later on we will be discussing on how to create a model in place or generic models. But for now, uh, it's for you to understand the concept of families. So again, these are the tools that you will use for you to create the model in place. So for example, you're going to use the extrusion tool. So you have to pick a plane. So again, Revit is a plane-based software. So if we pick a plane, so for example, I have to pick this one. So let's go to the east. So meaning that I will draw here on the on this plane. Okay. So once you already pick a plane, you can now draw your model. For example, I will create a rectangle here and click OK. So once we go to the south elevation, so you can see here now that we have a uh, object. Then click finish once you're done. So that's how you use your model plates. We'll be discussing the model plates and creating families on the other videos that I am going to produce. So, but for now, for you to understand what are families in Revit, so again, families are the core of Revit. So that's it for Revit families.